Trump is losing. I know it doesn't feel like that as X amps up the pro-Trump content and floods the zone with hateful bots, when anything political is squashed on Instagram and Facebook and pro-democracy content is mass reported on TikTok. I know you can feel crazy watching the mainstream media hedge their bets and double down on the both sides ridiculousness, while one party is referring to people as scum who will slit your throat and justifying the use of the military against the American people, and the other side is talking about protecting access to healthcare and helping people buy their first home. But the truth is, he is losing. What the Trump team is trying to do is give us the illusion of winning. So when he does lose, they can claim the election was rigged. It's a strategy, but it is not reality. Every week, the Republicans are dropping dozens of their own hand-picked polls into battleground states to move the polling average and make it look as though they're on the top. For every Democratic poll, the Republicans have about 20. So it almost always looks like Trump's in the lead when he's not. They are funding these hand-picked polls to fuel an illusion. It's very clever, but like much of what we see online these days, it's fake. Let's be clear. Of the last 15 general election polls released in Pennsylvania, 12 of them are affiliated with right-wing GOP groups. The Republicans are literally flooding battleground states with these polls, dropping 27 in the first week of October alone. They are using new groups like Polymarket and social media sites like X to just try and rewrite reality. It is an extension of the big lie to tell people Trump is so far ahead that when he loses, they can say, look, how is that possible? The polls, the rallies, the Democrats are clearly cheating. But the truth is, the Republicans are being outraised and outspent across the country at ridiculous levels. The Trump campaign is practically out of money, and they've left their ground game to inexperienced loyalists who have no idea what they're doing. They are not running a campaign in swing states trying to earn new voters. They are putting on rallies to get photo ops to use to challenge the results. That's why they're saying things like Trump had 100,000 people at this event when the ticket count total or the venue itself says that is absolutely impossible, that the numbers are a quarter of that. They are trying to give us the illusion of strength and numbers so they can then claim fraud when reality sets in. The groundwork was laid for this in 2016 and tried again in 2020, and now we're looking at the red wave messaging of 2022, but on steroids. So despite the fact that every day feels exhausting, do not get disheartened. Ignore the polls. Understand that we are living through probably the largest psyop in the country's history, masterminded by everyone from Steve Bannon and Roger Stone to Elon Musk and Vladimir Putin. That this myth of success is funded by billionaire tech bros and supported by misogynistic Theo bros, and our internet is just flooded with their bots. Our job is to make it impossible for this tactic to succeed. We need to keep filling these rallies for Harris, talking to our friends about what she offers to the American people, continuing to knock on doors and make phone calls and postcard about the importance of voting for Democrats up and down the ticket. There are 435 House seats up for election this November, 33 Senate seats, the presidential candidate, and all of the state races. And we need to focus on getting people out to vote for all of them. We need to amp up the enthusiasm for saving democracy and protecting the rule of law and supporting the continuation of the American experiment. We want to be under a president who is accountable to the people and not a dictator who answers to no one. So we need to enthusiastically fight to close the door on Trumpism and the hate and hostility of the MAGA movement. We are currently living through a sickening disinformation campaign, but we cannot get caught up in it. We just have to put our heads down and do the work of making their losses so big, so embarrassing, that it sends a resounding message that what these people are offering to America is repellent to what the majority of Americans want. We need to make the job of those set on spinning an election loss into an election win an absolute impossibility. Understand that MAGA isn't trying to win. They are laying the groundwork to claim they didn't lose, and it is our job to make sure it doesn't stick. So do everything you can in the next 20 days to help the Democrats win, and let's bring this horrible era to a close.